When we talk about monetization in games and apps, a lot of developers, a lot of people immediately think about ads, in-app purchases, and subscriptions if you're fancy enough. But the reality is, for a lot of developers, that is not enough. Either the revenue is inconsistent or it starts hurting the user experience because you tend to push more ads, and you've been seeing that in a lot of games and apps recently. So the real question is there a smarter way, less obvious way to monetize without breaking your product? That's exactly what we are diving in today. I'm joined by Ofir from Bright SDK, a platform that unlocks a completely new revenue stream for developers of apps and games in ways most people wouldn't think about. Let's get straight into it. All right, guys. Today I'm joined by someone who's building something quite interesting in the monetization space for games, especially for developers and publishers. So let's start simple. Ofir, would love for you to quickly introduce yourself and your journey specifically.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me, and nice to meet you. My name is Ofir. Maybe as a personal introduction first. So I'm 45 years old. I'm born and raised in Israel. Happily married with 3 kids, and professionally speaking, so today I'm working with Bright Data in the last 4.5 years, leading the Bright SDK group and the partnership team. Before that, I think for about the last 10 years or so, I've been leading teams who work with partners in different industries. Before that, it was cybersecurity, and now in the application monetization world.
Got it. Awesome. Welcome to the podcast, Ofir. So I'll quickly jump into it, right? What exactly is Bright SDK? Because I've heard about it. I also met one of your teammates at IGDC last year. But I want you to break it down for someone who's completely new to this.
Right. Yes. First of all, we love visiting IGDC, and we hope to be there this year as well.
Yeah.
So what is Bright SDK? Let's start high level introduction. Bright SDK is offering app developers and gaming in particular to maximize the revenue potential without harming or jeopardizing the player experience. It provides a monetization tool, an additional monetization tool to whatever they already have in place. It's integrated seamlessly into the game, or again, any other app. We are saying game, but it's relevant just as well to any other type of app.
Okay.
Offering the users to share a small portion of their unused bandwidth in exchange for some in-app rewards or value.
Got it. So it is for apps and games both, you're saying?
Yeah.
Got it.
I understand that this monetization tool is quite unique, and it might take more than 1 or 2 minutes to understand it. So maybe let's take a step back and talk about the company that we are a part of, Bright Data, and try to explain what exactly we've been doing in the last 10 years. I think at this point I'll show some slides to illustrate better what we're talking about.
Sure.
All right. So Bright SDK is, as I said, is part of Bright Data, and Bright Data is the leading public web data company by far. Over 500 employees worldwide, headquarters here in Israel, but we have global presence, including in India, of course. More than 20,000 customers. Many of them are Fortune 500. And many of the websites that I'm sure you're familiar with, like e-commerce websites, travel websites, of course, all the big AI tools, all of them would be our customers who need our help to collect public web data. And I'll give some, maybe the simplest example to understand what we mean by collecting web data. So if you are as a consumer, you want to buy a bag or a pair of shoes, you just Google it, right? And you find exactly what you're looking for. Here it's a Chanel bag, or maybe you're interested in Nike shoes. So you just Google, where can I find Nike shoes and what's the price? That's it. As a business owner, if you are selling, if you have an e-commerce business, it's not that simple. And you need a lot more data, and you need to collect it and parse it in a different way and analyze it on a daily basis, which makes things much more complicated. And also you probably will need to collect it from different geolocation, because for example, if you are in Mumbai and you will enter an Amazon webpage, like this one, okay, and I'm from Tel Aviv, will go to the same exact URL, most chances that you and I will see different content, different price, different stock, different shipping, whatever. It will be different. So our customers, whether they are in e-commerce or travel or any other of the 30 use cases, they need our help to collect that web data for them.
Got it.
Right? So we have the ability to collect it in extremely large scale. When I say extremely, I'll just show you maybe some numbers so you can understand. This is from more than 2 years ago. You can imagine that now it's been multiplied a few times. The amount of data that we collect every day for our customers is insane. Okay,
Right.
it's like as you can see, 33,000 times more than the data needed to train ChatGPT, and it's much more than the amount of Google requests on a daily basis. That's the scale that we're talking about. And I want to emphasize again, we are not talking about users' data at all. We're talking about any web page data that you can go and see for yourself, open, not locked behind any sign-in or password, or definitely not personal information.
Usually, consumers stay away from when you actually ask for a lot of permissions for in a game or an app, right? You said that you're not really asking for users' data, um, but the basic data that people have in the search terms on the web page or stuff like that, right? So how does this work from a game or an app to what I'm actually doing um, on my web pages or other
Yeah,
platforms, right? So can
great
you actually
question.
break that down in easy language?
Yeah, so now let's connect the dots. So I was just explaining about why our customers need our help to help them collect web data. And before that, we talked about monetization tool for ad publishers. Now, here is the link between them, all right? In order for us to be able to help our customers and provide them with the public web data that they need, we need to access all those web pages, like the Amazon web page I showed as an example. We need to access them through different geolocations and different devices across the world to provide them the whole picture that they're interested in. So we would access them through all those devices of users who gave us the consent to use their IP address in order to collect web data. So, for example, an app publisher would implement our SDK, and at some point in the game journey, they would show the users an offer screen, right? And they would ask the permission to allow Bright Data to use part of their unused bandwidth in order to collect public web data. In exchange, that user will get some in-app reward. We can show examples later, right? If the user doesn't want, of course, they can just move on with the game and nothing happens, right? If they accept and they willingly opt into this offer, we occasionally would use their IP address in order to go to that example Amazon webpage and collect web data. Now, we don't know anything about that user. We don't care who is the user, age, gender, home address, whatever, nothing. We have no idea who is behind that. We only know one thing, IP address.
Okay.
Now, IP address is something that probably any app that you use knows anyway about your device, right? IP address is how you connect to the world, how you connect to the internet. That's it.
Right.
And the fact that those customers pay us to help them get public web data is what allows us to pay our partners. Our partners are the game developers.
Got
So
it.
we pay them for their active users.
Got it. Got it. Understood. So again, I mean, another thing I had in my head was, have you any time come across any drawbacks or reasons why developers would not go ahead and do this? I don't see a problem in this at all, but
Yeah,
just for my understanding, have you seen any reasons? Because see, the problem is this explanation that you gave cleared a lot of doubts, but the moment you ask for any permissions, people just take a step back and feel that, oh, this is a security and
Right.
privacy stuff, right? Have you come across any of these things?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's part of the reason that why we are talking today, and why we are visiting a lot of conferences relevant for app publishers and gaming publishers, because we see ourselves. I mean, it's a fact that we are leading this industry, and part of our mission is to educate the world and help people understand what public web data is all about. I know that the word data sometimes may come with some negative or negative ideas or question marks, and we are happy to get questions or objections to why not implementing it, and answer any question. And in most cases, it does the job. I mean, people ask questions. For example, what do you know about my users? By the way, if you go to our website, you'll see a whole FAQ with all those questions that we are being asked regularly, and we do our best to answer them. As an example, what kind of information do you collect about my users? And the answer is very simple: nothing, only IP address, okay? Or someone may ask us, do you leave cookies, right, behind? No, we don't. Are you tracking what my user is browsing for? No, we don't care. We don't collect. We don't want to collect the web pages that the user is browsing to, because that's not what we are about. We are a serious company, over $200 million revenue. Okay, we have very big and serious customers. We help them collect web data, not users' data. Two different things.
Got it. But this is a very interesting avenue for any developer to actually make more money from their games or apps. Like apart from ad networks, in-app purchases.
Exactly.
This I feel is an additional avenue where you just have to implement this SDK, and if there's a permission that has been granted by the player or the user, you start making money with that, right? Before I get into the user experience on it, let me just take a step back and understand more on how this works, right? So let's make this super practical for our audience. If I'm a game developer or a publisher and I decide to sign up for Bright SDK today, what happens next? Like step by step, what does that journey look like?
Yeah, so we did our best to make it as user friendly and self-serve as possible. Technically, it's enough for you to sign up to our dashboard, and we can provide link later. And you can. We have some cases where partners did everything and then just let us know when they were ready, and others need more support, and that's perfectly okay. We have a super professional team of partnership managers who can contact them and guide them step by step. Technically speaking, you create an account, you download the SDK, the relevant SDK to your platform. So we have, maybe it's a good time to mention, we support a whole list of platforms, including iOS, Android, smart TVs like LG TV, Samsung TVs, of course, desktop, Windows, Mac, etc. We are Unity certified solution as well. So depending on the platform that you're developing, you will download the SDK file, follow an integration guide to implement it into your app, and then submit it to our review. We actually run a compliance review for each app before it goes live to make sure that everything is super transparent to the users. As I mentioned before, the user must see a very clear offer screen, understand exactly what we ask them, or actually the app is asking them, and accept. We also insist on the fact that there must be a way for the user to opt out. So we take every step that we can to be super transparent and fair to the users. We're not trying to hide what we're doing. On the contrary. And that's it. So once we review and approve, the app goes live, and the partner starts seeing revenue on a daily basis based on the amount of daily active users.
Got it. Do you have anything to share in a show of the dashboard or anything?
I'll show you the dashboard. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I can show some examples. So this is on our YouTube channel, so probably you can see more details later. But just to illustrate what it would look like on some real examples, this is one of our partners. I'm pausing for a second, and this is what they designed the offer screen to match the look and feel of the app. They chose the value to provide to their users, and as you can see, the user can choose agree or disagree. And later in the game, they would also have a way to opt out. Usually in the setting page, they can go and say, I don't want this anymore, and that's okay. These guys also edit it as an offer in their shop. That would be one example. That's another example. Maybe you're familiar with this game. It's already by 2%. So many different examples. As you can see, every game would choose how to place the offer, where to place the offer, what exactly is the value to the user, whatever makes sense to them. It's completely up to the partner to choose. Advice based on our experience, because we've seen probably thousands of apps in the last 10 years. So we saw a lot of things, and we know what works best, probably. In terms of the dashboard, so I don't think we have time to go over it in details, but I'll show you probably the most interesting part in the dashboard, which is the revenue part, right? So I'll just show you a snapshot without showing any names, but I promise you this is a real example of one of our partners from last month. Just a second.
While you're doing that, also tell me what's happening at the player's side. So I open the game, and do I have to play the game? Do I have to, when I say agree, post that, what is it that I am doing which is helping the developer to make money?
All right, so that's a great question, and here we have to separate iOS from all the other platforms. So in iOS specifically, because of the way the platform is built, there's nothing that we can do about it. Apple doesn't allow background processes to run, right? So in that case, the SDK would operate only when the app is being used. Now, the player doesn't have to proactively do anything. As long as they give their consent one time, that's it. So whenever the app is launched and is being used, it means that we might be able to pass some traffic through it. But even if we don't, it doesn't really matter. We still pay the partner. So the agreement says that for every day that the users are active, above a minimum number of minutes a day, we pay. It doesn't matter if we did anything or not. And in most cases, we don't use them because we have many millions of devices. We don't need all of them every day. So that's in iOS. In all the other platforms, it's actually much better for the publishers, because the SDK can run in the background. So as an example, if you have a Windows game or Mac or smart TV game, the user doesn't even have to open the app. As long as the device is on and is connected to the internet, as long as you didn't opt out or you didn't uninstall the app, you still get paid every day.
That is crazy.
Which is compare it to advertisement, right? It's so much better. You don't have to do anything. The user doesn't have to see anything. So that's how it works.
That's crazy, man. That is absolutely, like, you don't have to actually rely on how much the ad is filled, the fill rates, then the clicks, the impressions, all of that. Although the revenue brackets and everything could be different, and it would be great if you can show that dashboard also. Just for the motivation of it.
It's an interesting comparison when you try to compare our monetization tool to the traditional ad. So many differences between them. But again, we never try to say or claim to partners that they should give up on ad. No. We always come in addition, although some partners, when they saw the amount of revenue, it was their decision to reduce the amount of ads a bit, because obviously it improves the user experience and retention. That's a snapshot from the revenue report, and just to show you the granularity and the type of information that you can see on every day. You can see how many users they have. Devices qualified means the amount of devices that were online on that day above the minimum number of minutes. As I mentioned before, you can see a breakdown per country. You can see the rate per country. For example, 3 cents for the US and so on. And on every day, we would just multiply the amount of devices by the rate for this country to get the daily amount, and it sums up on a monthly basis. At the end of the month, just get paid the total, whatever that gets you to. And here is just a simulation for iOS apps with some real reasonable numbers. Okay, so that's let's say an average partner. They would have a minimum session time of 5 minutes. Okay, for iOS. The rates, just like I showed you now, 3 cents for US, 1.5 cents for selected tier 1 countries like Western Europe and some Australia, Japan, etc. Of course, we can talk about that on a case-by-case basis and negotiate with the partners. It depends on their business model, but that's like an average scale.
Yeah.
And that's for the rest of the world. And if this app would have 50K daily active users with this type of breakdown, 40% US, 30% in the tier 1 countries, and the rest all over the world, that's their potential daily earning.
Oh, wow.
And monthly earning. Okay, so that's not nearly our biggest partners. That's like I think regular size, right?
This is crazy.
And of course, it comes on top of any, as you said, on top of any ads or anything else, or in-app purchase, etc.
Quickly, I want to ask you, you've been working with developers globally. How has your experience been with Indian game dev? Did you actually work with any Indian game developer or publisher? And how is the community so far? Anything that stands out?
Yes. First of all, as I said, I'm looking forward to come to IGDC this year, and part of the reason is that I personally really love India. I'm using any opportunity that I have to come visit it again. I've been there many times, personally and professionally. And yes, I can check with some of the partners later and see if they're willing to share their names. But many of our big partners are Indian companies. I think from my experience in the last 4 years, India is a superpower in terms of app development and publishing games and non-games apps. So we have a lot of experience with Indian publishers for sure. And if any of your followers will come and meet us in IGDC, you'll probably see many of our partners are there. We meet them every year.
Yeah. No, you're super welcome. This year at IGDC, we'll be happy to host you there. I've also heard that you have a partner program. Can you tell us more
Right.
about that and what's actually in it for partners? Why would one join it?
So we consider our partner program to be kind of a loyalty program. Maybe you can compare it to a, let's say, frequent flyer program. And the concept is simple. The more active users you have, which means you grow your partnership with us, the more benefit you get. And I'll just mention 2 of them, right? First of all, let's talk about the payment terms. So even if you're just starting as a new partner and you have like your first 100 users, the payment terms that we offer are still, I think, attractive compared to the ad industry. We're talking about net 30. So the following month you get all the payment. As you grow in the program, and we have tiers like bronze, silver, gold, and platinum level, as long as you get to the gold level, which means around 100,000 daily active users, not something that should take a lot of time to reach, the payment terms would be net 7. So within a week after the month, you get paid whatever you deserve. So that's one benefit. The second benefit is funds. We offer marketing and R&D funds to support our partners. And of course, the bigger you are, the more funds you get to support you, to keep investing in your business and in your apps to grow the partnership more. So that's a mutual investment. So those are just two examples of benefits of the program.
Got it. And you said that it supports all the platforms, mobile, PC. Did you miss out any?
Let's make sure we didn't miss anything. So we talk about Bright SDK being found in many respected app stores like iOS App Store, LG TV, Samsung TV, Huawei mobile devices, and desktop apps, Windows, Mac. We talked about being certified Unity solution. We also support Unreal Engine, React Native, Electron. If
That is,
anyone wants to come and suggest a platform that we still don't support, we're happy to add new ones.
yeah,
There's a demand.
that's a wide variety. But from the end user's perspective, how does the integration actually feel like? Is it intrusive? Does it affect any performance, or is it like very seamless? Just drag the SDK and it's done. Like how? What is the process like? How long does it take for one to actually get started with it?
So you're talking about the end
SDK?
user, not
No,
the
no,
not the
not the
publisher.
developer. The developer. The developer.
Oh, the developer. The
Yeah.
developer usually it can take a day. It really
Okay.
depends on them, how busy they are with other priorities or whatever. But in terms of the actual technical time you need to invest, it's 1 or 2 days. It's really not that complicated.
That's crazy. And realistically,
If you get the game, then integrating SDK is nothing for you. It's much more simple.
yeah, got it. Uh, okay, super interesting conversation. Do you want to add anything else? I mean, we've covered most of it.
Let's just mention a few highlights. All right. So in terms of the user, no interruptions except
Mhm.
one time over screen. That's it.
Yeah,
Nothing will interrupt their experience again ever. Right. The rates are fixed. You don't rely on any fluctuations, any CPMs that are changing every day or every moment. No fill rate. Think
yeah,
about it. 100% fill rate. You control the fill rate as the publisher. No
right.
one else is controlling it for you or deciding for you. The payment terms, I think I mentioned, are quite good compared to anything you probably are familiar with. No chargebacks, no surprises. You know exactly what you're going to get at the end of the month. You see it on a daily basis in your dashboard. So, and personal touch. I think again, from my experience with many ad networks, you never talk to a real person, right? You sign up to a dashboard and hope for the best. And here, just like you see me, you would see 3 other partnership managers from my team, and you talk to real people behind the screen or face to face in conferences. And I think this also means a lot when you're working with people, not with some automated tool. Yeah, and that's it. And the monetization tool that we talked about, yes, we are leading it, but we are not the only ones in the market. Okay, I'm not that naive, and I know that there are other competitors, small competitors, maybe bigger competitors that are doing their best to imitate and catch up, and that's good. We love competition.
Yeah, but what
It
do you
makes
think?
us
What do you
better.
think? What do you think is your moat? Like, why? What's better that you guys are doing from the others?
I think, well, a lot, but to mention two, first of all, personally, I think that if you choose to implement something that, especially if it's new to you, but you want to implement something in your app, which theoretically raise questions or doubts within your user community, number one, I think it makes sense to work with the leading company, and we are the leading company by far. These are facts that can be checked easily. Okay.
Got it.
Number two, I think the level of transparency and compliance should be as important to you as the revenue that you are getting, because very high attractive revenue is not worth it if users would just abandon you because you are doing something behind their backs, or you are collecting their data without their expecting. You can lose your business in a day. So I think the fact that we insist, we don't approve apps to use our SDK if we didn't see in our eyes that how exactly they are getting the opt-in from the users and how they are letting them opt out, and those things are not happening in other solutions. And you're welcome to check what I just said. We know that. So I think I would put that at the same importance as the revenue as an app publishing owner.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So there is like you've been over the years now, you've been asked a lot of questions on this, and then there is FAQ which is publicly available. People can just go before even thinking of doing this.
Sure.
You can go check out all of that. How does just to sum up this entire thing, if I'm a new developer, how do I actually start? Where is the link? What should I do?
Yeah, so we'll provide the link to the sign up to our dashboard. We can provide our
Yeah, I'll just drop
contact
I'll just drop it in the description below so that people can the developers can
Yeah.
actually go and.
That would be great. And of course, I can add my personal contact details. Anyone who wants to raise any question is more than welcome to talk to me directly, and we'll provide all the information in the world that they need.
Awesome, man. Super interesting conversation. In fact, you cleared a lot of my doubts as well. So post this call, I'm just going to explore that and implement in one of our games, because that's something that I've been discussing with one of your partners as well for a long time.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. So, and this
Happy to see you
opens,
there.
this opens a completely new way for developers to think about monetization. Thanks a lot for joining, and for everyone watching, if you are a developer, definitely worth exploring this space. Thank you, Ofir.
Thank you very much.
If you liked what you saw, and if you want to experience the SDK, if you want to integrate that in your games and apps, go to the description. There's a link that I have posted. Use it, integrate it, and start making additional revenue from your games. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section below. If you're watching this video or this channel for the first time on YouTube, please consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next video.
करे